Hi there, my mimosa friends. I just thought I'd let you know what I've been up to these last couple of weeks. We had the wedding on Saturday of my daughter, and it was an absolutely amazing event. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But the weather has changed since last Saturday, and we've had lots and lots of rain. So on my last video, I explained to you that we hadn't had any rain for 6 weeks. And now we have had a week of rain, two of those days over 30 mils, and the rest of the days 10, 15 mils, those sorts of things. So the temperatures have changed here now. It's really become quite autumny. So I thought I'd give you a look around, show you what I've been doing. I've been doing some cleaning up of the garden beds, some pruning pre-winter, cleaning out dead shrubs, broken shrubs, damaged shrubs, all that sort of stuff, doing some deadheading, and I've also been doing some propagating. So I'm going to take you through that now. All right, stay tuned. So you can see here that things are changing. The plants are changing. So I thought I'd start getting ready for my winter by cutting back, removing anything that's dead or damaged, and doing some pruning. So I'll just show you what I mean by dead or damaged. We had some wind early on, and a couple of the lavenders, even though they're still alive, they've been completely damaged. But if you have a look, right in the middle, there's some new growth. So I'm going to cut out any dead branches, any long branches. I'm going to give them a hard trim and prune back any deadheading, pull out any weeds because the ground is so moist now. It's a great time to pull out any weeds before the oncoming winter and get it cleaned up a bit. All right, I'll show you the area that I've done. So this is still to be done. Now, the bit that I have done is coming up through here. I trimmed back this lavender, trimmed him right back. He can handle a very hard trim, this guy. Cut back heaps, go back into the dead wood, doesn't worry him at all. So, this top garden here, started up here. I've been weeding, I've been using the weeds as mulch on the ground. I've been trimming back that buddleia there's cut in half. Top pruned the lavender, just dead-headed basically. Got a little salvia there going well. Cleaned up anything in here. I removed one lavender completely from here. You can see the stump's still there, but you know, he was really flattened by the wind. He was still growing on the outer shoots, but you know, easy to propagate, so why waste your time? Get rid of him, put something nice and fresh. I see it as an opportunity for me to plant something else there, and I'm actually going to plant a little lemon coloured salvia in there. So that buddleia has been trimmed and he's already shooting. Okay, yes, they'll reshoot and we'll get frosts and they'll get a little bit damaged, but then I only got to give them a light trim after that. This is a cut back, deadheaded all the seed pods off the Russell lupin, but I don't like to put them in the compost heap, so I just spread them on the ground here where I am quite happy for them to self-seed through there and fill in that gap. So I find it's looking quite bare, but I can see where there's some gaps, and I'm really excited about that because I decided that I've got a whole heap of pots full of bulbs. I've got daffodils, jonquils, freesias, spring star, and I bought some more. I bought some ranunculus and some anemones, and I'm going to get them in. So I'll keep going. I've got to go down here. This is the next bit. I'll go down here and I'll trim, prune, clean up And once I've got all my gaps sorted, then I'll start planting back into it. So I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so I haven't pruned here yet and cleaned up, as you can see by the length of the buddleia, but I noticed when I was walking around that this little shrub, it's a euryops, it's a fine-leafed euryops, and it looks spectacular in winter. It gets covered in a mass of yellow flowers in winter. And I've not propagated it before, so I'll show you what I've done. I have propagated a couple of rows of this, and I'll show you what that means. Before we do that though, I'm going to show you the goldenrod. It's just about to come into flower. Get a close-up of that. And it is luminous yellow feathers when it flowers. So it's not quite open yet. You wait a long time for some things to flower, but that's so tall. That would have to be two meters high there. Lovely. All right, we'll go into the shade house now. Excuse me. And I'll show you where I propagated the euryops this morning. I just took cuttings, tip cuttings basically, and removed the lower branches, and I put them into this box of sand. This is them here, labelled, and they'll get watered by the misting system. It's just straight sand, and I find this is very successful. If you remember my last video on the lemon verbena, that's exactly what I did there, and that was months ago, so I can quickly show you that too. So if you see there, I don't know if you can see, but there's the lemon verbena, there's the cuttings that we took, and they're coming on well, so it won't be too long. There's some salvia there. You can tell the new growth. There's Georgia blue there, Veronica, and salvia. It just seems to get quite lush. The leaves are small. Oh, let's have a look at this one. This is the curry plant here, and you can see tiny little leaves. There's a salvia there. Alrighty. So, like I said, euryops is now in the box, and we'll see how that goes. Another thing that I have been doing today is propagating lavender. This particular lavender here is grosso. It's been here for a couple of years now. I prune him back fairly heavily, and I just noticed he's got all this beautiful fresh silver growth on him. Now here's the only plant I've got of it, but I have decided that I'm going to set up a row of lavender down in one of my paddocks. All of the English ones, the grosso and the English. So I've got that grosso there, one plant of it, and here I've got English pink, and I've got one plant of it. So it's going to take me a little while, but I'm going to get as many plants as I can and try and get a row of them going. All right, now I'll show you what I have done with that in the shade house. So far, I have 80 starts that I've put, cuttings that I've put in of the grosso, and I will do more. I will just stagger it and do it as the plant, but having only one plant, I've got to do it as the plant copes with it. So here we go. So this is the one I did this morning. There's 40 in there. They're just in a 50-50 sand and soil mix. Well, it's not garden soil, it's compost potting mix. 50-50. Okay, I've done them there. here's one I did probably, it's probably been in about 3 weeks, that lot there. And they're coming on nice. See how they've got new growth? Like the silver is like standing up and looking healthy and happy. And then this one here is the pink one. And then I have this box here of the pink. I think I took these ones a little bit too early and they've really taken ages. And they're in straight sand. Okay. So I've got them going, and they're what I'm planning to plant out. I'm going to use some of the nursery landscape fabric. I'm going to roll it out and I'm going to peg it out, and I'm going to make rows, and I'm going to leave a gap for the lawnmower up the middle. So I want it so that, particularly with the Grosso, that it's got plenty of room to spread, and that it might be a nice thing for people to visit and come and take photos and that sort of thing. So that's my plan there. The paddock where I'm going to plant them is on a bit of a hill, so it's really well drained. I won't need to mound any of those plants. Yeah, that's my shade house. I've got other bits and pieces in here too. So yeah, I want to get more of the lavender done. So now I've got 80 done, and I'll probably might do another 80. But I'm like I said, I have one plant, so I've got to make sure it recovers enough, shoots up stems, and go from there. Here's another variety they're going to do too. So 2 varieties actually. I'm going to do Hidcote and Munstead. So they're my cuttings, right? And all I've got with them is a couple of pot plants. So I'll show you those, and they're only little too. So I'm thinking that I'll keep going. And so there's my Munstead. They're looking lovely, and I took cuttings off them this morning. I've got 3 of them. And then I've got Hidcote. So I've got 11 of them. That one at the back I think is dead. So I'm just taking cuttings as I see the plants can cope. So hopefully I'll have a row of Grosso, and then I'll have a gap of mowing, and then I'll have a row of English. So that'll be Munstead, Hidcote, and then maybe I'll have a 3rd row, which will be English pink. I just think it'd be so pretty. And then I bought a still so I can make some lavender oils, and I've been making dried lavender bouquets and wreaths and products that, you know, your dried lavender goes into. Little chookies and things like that are made out of material, but you can put them in your drawer around your house just to sell, just because it's fun. I don't think I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, I know that for sure. Anyway, that's what I've been doing today. We have the nursery open today. We've had some customers out already, had a look around. The gardens are still open here, and I haven't decided whether I'll close them depending on how daggy they look in winter. But tomorrow I'm taking my plants down to town, which is 5k away, and down to the hardware store, and I set up a shop out the front. The owners of Blake and Taylor Hoadley have been very generous in allowing me to set up a stall outside the front to see how it goes, because they're only a new hardware and they haven't got plants. So yeah, so I'll take down what's looking good and healthy and pretty. Japanese maple, there's got some beautiful colour on it. Yeah. Anyway, that's my lot to go in the car this afternoon. Pack it up tonight, just drive it down in the morning, unpack it and set up, and I'm down there tomorrow. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that it's helped you along your journey of gardening or encouraged you. and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.